Hello, I'm Daniel Shields of cultivateabundance.com. Today I'm out doing some machete work on the dam wall next to the site of the Aquatic Garden project. So it's going nicely. It's a nice feeling that the tractor isn't able to take on this stuff, but nice, cheap, simple machete makes short work of it. Takes a little more muscle, but macheting's really all about technique. You gotta make impact at about a 45-degree angle with you don't want to be macheting in here, you machete out here. Just remember not to lock your elbow out or you're gonna get really strong, you're gonna absorb some really strong forces in your biceps tendon. Now, if you've been doing gymnastics conditioning, like gymnasticsbodies.com, maybe you'll be able to withstand that. Most people are gonna mess up their elbow. So just keep a nice bend, but try to get some distance, because then you have that broader arc to your swing. It's a lot more effective. So let me just say a few words about how the Aquatic Garden project is going. I've been selecting my seeds, and I found good seed sources for a number of species I was really wanting. So right off the bat, I'm going to have a good ecosystem. However, a lot of species are going to be harder to track down than I had realized. So it's going to be interesting, actually, being able to follow this process of hunting down very rare specialized seeds, because I'm going to have to start turning to, I've already actually found one of my species through a seed exchange social networking website. I have to admit, I didn't even realize these existed. I think that's a truly brilliant idea. So I'm going to start doing that, and once I have my garden up and going, I'll have a lot of these people actually want you to trade seeds with them, not buy the seeds. So once I have my seed collection, I'm going to start exchanging and trying to build up a collection of unusual species. Of course, grow those out and try and make the seeds available so the species are a little less unusual and a little more common. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be sending in some requisitions to B&T World Seeds, a really amazing company that exists specifically to make available very rare, hard to find seeds. And so their catalog lists, a countless variety of seeds, but they normally don't have them in stock. However, you can send in a message to their wants list and they'll attempt to procure the seeds. So really fascinating business they have going, and I'm excited to be involved with them, and I think it'd be really wonderful if working together we could procure an unusual, non-domesticated, edible aquatic plant, and I'll be able to demonstrate how to grow it, grow the seeds out, and maybe even supply them back to B&T World Seeds. So I think this whole concept of aquatic gardening is very interesting, particularly in light of the history of agriculture, because there's this tragic chapter. Most of the chapters of the history of agriculture are rather tragic, but people would buy large pieces of swampland and not knowing that there are a vast quantity of edible aquatic plants. Instead of planting those and breeding them to create better cultivars, they instead drained the swamp and tried to grow conventional terrestrial crops, normally to poor effect because they're growing on a piece of land that wants to return to swamp. But I want to show how you can garden in a pond, in a lake, on the border of either of those, in the border of a stream. You can garden in a marsh, in a bog. There are edible plants, some of them apparently quite delicious, many of them very, very prolific, that will grow in these types of ecosystems. And of course you also get your yields of fish. If you're a more adventurous eater, you get edible crustaceans, amphibians, mollusks, etc. And they're just great for promoting biodiversity. The amphibians that spawn in these aquatic ecosystems will then venture into your terrestrial gardens and eat the pests. They of course eat mosquitoes. A well-stocked pond will dramatically reduce your local mosquito population. So there's all kinds of benefits, both directly in terms of agricultural yield and just a vast array of secondary ecosystem service type yields. Maybe it's not even fair to call them secondary. So I'm really excited about this project. I think this is going to turn out really well, and I hope you'll stay tuned and watch as it unfolds. So, peace and permaculture.